Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. Right here with Spears.
How y'all feel out there?
Steinberg. What time is it? Game time. Part deux.
Do you know how you spell do? The French way?
DOX?
No, nigga. That's docs. I don't even know if that's a real. It's DEAUX.
I knew there was an X.
Yeah, but then you missed the other.
All the other letters?
And the O that wasn't even in that bitch.
Yeah.
So you got D and X.
I got D and X, okay.
EAUX. Part deux.
Yeah, this is the continuation. We actually put something in the middle of your two-parter, so.
Oh, you know what we put in the middle of it? We put in the fly. The Negro fly. Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? You had the racism, real stew, part one. Then you had the real gumbo, part two. And both are like bread. There's the one part and the second part. The parts on the top, tops on the bottoms on the bottom. And then what goes in the middle? Cosby cock.
Yes. It was just a little Cosby.
It was a little Cosby. It was a little Cosby that grew into a big Bill Cosby. You see? Start out as Little Russell and then you turned into, hey. It's Fat Cockby. Okay. That actually takes us into the next direction. But before we jump into that, dude, this bakery do you know the name of it?
No. I don't.
I wish I knew the name of it, so
I can
tell all of y'all.
I can probably tell you. Hold on, real quick. Let me see.
Oh, shit.
Let me see.
Anytime we do this, we should both go, because I always beat you to the punch. Matter of fact,
No,
we
you-
both going
you-
to try to look it up. Hold up. Wait.
Okay,
I'm
go
going to count on count three.
Okay.
All right, now before I count, Steve, after I count to three, give us some Mission Impossible. Doom. Okay, so we go. On the count of 1, 2, 3. Go, Steve.
Bijan Bakery.
Damn, did it!
I was cheating. I did it the whole time you were talking. I was thinking,
Motherfucker. See, them white people cheat. White people do what they have to do, nigga, to beat the niggas at their own game. He knows that niggas are faster, so that white man got a head start. When the fucking shotgun went off, the starter pistol, his chest was already on the tape.
I knew you were going to get to the microscope faster. I had to move.
There you go. There you go. That's the noodle cooking. What's it called?
Is that Bijan? Bijan Bakery?
Bijan Bakery Cafe.
Yeah.
Here in the downtown San Jose area.
Next to what used to be
The Fairmont, until COVID got its clutches
and
on the hotel and shut it down.
It's right next to Morton's if you're trying to find it down there.
Morton's Steakhouse.
It is literally next to Morton's.
Yes, and you know, I'm not as big a dessert guy as I used to be because of the type 2 diabetes. But every now and then I have a little bit of dessert. And dude, I'm telling you, this place is an orgy of desserts. If you have a sweet tooth, this place is a porno cafe. I mean, everything in this motherfucker.
I went there yesterday. I called Aries, told him where I was. He came over. Dude, we could have sat there all day and ate that.
Let me tell you something. Yesterday I had a raspberry cheesecake with an almond crust. And then this morning I had a chocolate mousse with a whipped cream and shaved chocolate pieces with cherries and a cherry sauce in the middle. And of course I had my ice cold glass of milk. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
Okay, let me explain how important this glass of milk is. So
Man.
when I called Aries and I said, hey, I'm over here, it's good. And he's like, oh, and was on the fence about coming over. And I said, yeah, it's unbelievable. You should see this. Kate, it's unbelievable. You should check it out. He goes, and I go, but I don't know if they have milk because I know that he was going to want milk with his dessert. And I go, I don't know if they have milk though. He goes, oh, you're not sure? And he goes, no. He goes, well, ask them. And I go, I'm sure they have it. They have to use it to make it. He goes, come on, ask them.
No, because I love this sequence in which I go, ask them. And then you said what?
I said,
the first time.
oh yeah, they have to have it. They have to. That's how they make these products. They have to have milk.
Pause. And you ask them. I hear it in the background. Hey, y'all got milk? Yeah, they got milk. Pew! I was over there.
Pew made a comeback.
Pew! I was over there.
And then I bought a baguette because I like just French bread, and I can have it with just butter if it's good. This bread is fucking ridiculous, man. I called Tara and I go, man, I know we live in Jersey, New York area, but damn, I found a better bakery.
Hey, listen, again, this is the part of the fun for me. When you think back on certain moments in the podcast as they were born and they're in the infancy stage of where they're at, and you don't even know immediately that something can go somewhere or develop into something. But gradually as we do this and as the years and the episodes go by, my noggin gets to moving and I go, and if I'm going to do a callback to something, let's add to it. So this is the beauty of, again, the man you don't see behind the curtain, Steve. Steve, here's what I want you to do. And you don't even have to edit this a certain way. Just when we're talking through it now so the folks can be in on the behind the scenes. Whenever I said that something tastes so good, it feels like Barry White is sitting Indian style or laying butt naked on your tongue inside your mouth, singing while you taste what you taste. Here's what I want you to do, Steve. Give me a little bit of Barry White music in the background. Something, baby, never gonna love you, love you. Just some shit he does. So as I bite into this chocolate mousse, or as Andy bites into this baguette, it's just picture Barry White inside your mouth. Black, slick, long perm, butt naked completely, laying down the same way that Lionel Richie or Michael Jackson is laying down from the album, not Off the Wall, I think it was the Thriller album, where he's just laying there sexy, and that's Barry butt naked, ass cheeks, ass crack, exposed, dick and balls all in your mouth as you enjoy this cake. Steve, throw that music in there.
Baby, this chocolate mousse, can you feel it, baby? I feel the cherry juice drifting down past my inner thighs, all through my nut hairs, down your tongue to the back of your throat. Feel Barry, baby. There we go.
It's off the wall. It's when you open up the double sleeve.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
He's got the white suit on.
It's in this.
Yes. So, Steve, thank you for that. Yeah, brother.
We mixed Barry and Michael to come for your visual.
but no Michael.
No Michael in music,
Michael,
but you mixed them to get the look.
Michael would probably be laying on a child's tongue.
So fucked up. He didn't do that shit, man.
Oh, come on.
All right. So I just got to tell you the story real quick. So I'll go to the bakery today, and I didn't even call you. I was like, I'm just going to the bakery. Aries is probably asleep because I did get up early to go over there. I wanted because they have also great lattes. So I went over there to get this latte and French bread and some a pastry, which I ended up getting a blueberry cheese Danish. Anyway, so I'm walking over there, and as you know, across the street from the Westin, we're in downtown San Jose, and there's some homeless people out here, and there's this lady that I've seen every night as I walk by, and she's kind of talks to herself all the time. So I'm walking by.
This is the lady right here, right
across the way.
Yeah.
And I hear her say, I'm here all by myself. She's just talking. She goes, I'm here all by myself. And I just kept hearing that in my head as I was walking away. I'm here all by myself. And I thought, all these people around, she's here all by herself.
Right.
And I don't know why it affected me the way that it did, but it did. So I get over there and I said to the lady, I go, man, I need something that everybody would like. I just need, because I don't know what this person likes. She goes, who's it for? I go, the homeless lady over, that's across from the Westin. She goes, I have this breakfast almond croissant. She goes, everybody likes it. It's just powder sugar. And I look at it, and I was like, nah, and then I saw it. They have it done up nice. It looks nice. I go, okay, I'll take that. So I'm walking back over, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is weird. I'm just gonna hand some lady some food. I don't know.
Tell me you ate the motherfucker.
No. I walk back over there, and I see her, and she kind of has her back turned, and I go, excuse me, and she goes, ah! That's how homeless I look. I scared the homeless lady.
Right.
What I didn't realize is that she was looking in the mirror when I did it, and she must have found some makeup or something, and she was putting makeup on.
Right.
She's putting this foundation on. So she looked at me like a little kid, like she was doing something wrong. And I go, "Hey," "Do you like almonds?" She goes, "I love almonds." And I said, "We here, man." I go, "I want to bring you this and let you know you're not alone."
Here's how you are comedically. I thought you were going to say, "Excuse me, miss, you like almonds?" And she goes, "Yeah." And then you're in the middle of eating your almond tart. And you're like, "There's a great bakery
Right there.
around the corner. Great Danish with the almonds. This is it here.
Yeah.
But have a good day."
Have a good day. It's tasty.
Right.
You're right there. You should get one. Maybe even after they close or something.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not going to do that because I appreciated this lady. She was just so. I don't know why, but when in this world, when someone says something like, "I'm here by myself,"
Right.
and I don't know why that
touched you.
It got me. So I wanted to let her know she wasn't all by herself.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So that was my morning. I did that.
That was sweet.
Yeah, no, but it's bullshit because it made me feel good. I was supposed to be
Well,
making
it's
her feel
supposed to
good.
make you feel a little good.
I was supposed to be making her feel good.
Yeah, but you did a good thing.
Yeah, but now that I said it out loud on the podcast, it doesn't feel as good. It felt like a public service announcement. Andy does good things.
Well, we know.
I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it on the podcast because it ruins it for me.
Nah, it doesn't. When I do good things, I want people to know I did good things.
I don't.
I want the credit.
You want the credit? I really didn't. I just thought she was so cute when she felt like she looked at me like she was doing something wrong, put on the makeup.
Right.
I guess, but it was very cute. So this is a very interesting place because it is kind of hollow because no one's here because of this COVID shit.
Right.
So if you go to this bakery, if you're in San Jose, you need to go check it out. All right.
Incidentally, this morning as I was perusing through Instagram, the TV happened to be on A&E, and they had one of the episodes on of the Playboy documentary.
Oh, okay.
I know I'm not going to watch this
Yeah.
because it's horseshit. And I know that one of our listeners mentioned it. I think it might have been Kolsch in an email. And I don't know how long of a documentary series this is. I got to imagine they're all talking about the same thing, I guess, in each episode. But again, it was woman after woman after woman complaining about the sexual mistreatment, the mistreatment of women, period, how they being made to feel, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with a D.
Not demeaned?
Demeaned is a good word. Demeaned, denigrated. Is that right? That's what denigrated. But they're also all saying the same thing. They kept using the word lucrative. It just was so lucrative. At what point, I'm sorry, and I know Miss J.V. Hunt, you had problems how me and Andy, I guess, kind of touched this. But at what point as a grown adult do you take responsibility for your own actions? I'm not excusing wrong behavior is wrong behavior. Bad behavior is bad behavior. But as an adult, you're not a kid. It's not like you don't know what's right versus wrong. So come on, man. And you can only blame so much on being young. You still know the difference between right and wrong, and you still have a choice. No one is forcing you to do this job. And you can't have it both ways. You can't go, demeaned, denigrated, harassed, wrong, mistreatment, fucked up, but lucrative. At what point do you, if it's that bad, fucking quit. No one is forcing you to do this, but you cannot go, I want this lucrative opportunity, but I'm also going to bitch about the conditions in which the job lays out on paper what it is. If you don't like it, don't take it. If you don't like it, quit.
I know this. A couple things. One is I agree with you because that's my stance on this as well. But when women after women after women are telling you it was overdone, it was over. I don't know. I don't know if I want to use the word demeaning. I don't. What was denigrated? I mean, we got to listen because if that many women are saying it, maybe there's more to this that our understanding isn't letting us have or letting us see. But on that other same note, though, of what you just said, all jobs Did you work for someone else? I mean, not all. Let me rephrase it. Not all, but most jobs where you're not the one running the job or the company, or that you're not a leader in that field, if you're not the one that's moving the company, they all seem a little degrading, demeaning. I'm not saying over-sexualized, which that could be. And if you want to say that it was over-sexualized and people were taking liberties, that's a different story. But when you say demeaning, listen, one of my first jobs was working at, it was called Alpha Beta at the time. It's Abco, and I don't even know if it still exists anymore. It's a grocery store. And I did really well, and I was just this bag boy and this clerk, whatever. And I was in high school, and I liked my job. And then I moved to another store, and I still liked my job, but for whatever reason, I'd been there too long. And so one of the managers that I had never worked with before really didn't like me and would have me do all the bullshit work, all the crap work. And I remember this one time they went into the bathroom, and apparently somebody had shit on the floor. Not a huge shit, like had an accident and there was shit on the floor. But no matter what, it was human feces on the floor. And she took great pride in telling me that I needed to go clean that up. And I never forget, because it was her face that I could see in her face. She enjoyed telling me that I had to go clean it up. And there was other people there. I had been with the company longer, and she could have given that job to anybody else. And I knew what she was trying to do. I knew I knew what she was up, what she was about. So I went and got the mop bucket out that's in the back, and I went in and I cleaned up all that fucking human fucking shit. And I went back and put the mop bucket away. I mean, dumped it out and threw everything out, and everything was fine. But I'm sitting there as I was doing this. I go, this fucking bitch, man. She's doing this, as she just said, demean me.
Right.
Give me that shit job just to let me know who I am, what I am to this company. Because I was a good employee, but I wasn't meaningful in the job.
But was that truly a possibility within the job description?
Yeah. I mean, it could be. I mean, it wasn't, I never had to do it in 4 years.
Right.
So all of a sudden now this is my job. There's other people that have less time in the company that they could have given that job to as a courtesy. But like I said, you're not part of what makes that company run. You're part of what you're an employee. You do have a function, but you have a function. You're not part of what makes it run. So after I got it all done and clean and thought about it the whole time I was doing it, and just pictured her face just looking at me, that look where she was so happy to give me this fucked up job. I got it all done. I came back over and I go, hey man, it's all clean. Took care of it. It's back. And she goes, oh, thank you, with that, like that. And I said, I just want to let you know, I quit.
You knew you were going to quit before you clean the shit?
No, not until after I was done and I saw her fucking face. I felt demeaned. I felt everything that you're saying, and it wasn't worth it to me. And it, not that, I don't know what any other buddy's personal situation is. They had to pay for feed kids. I didn't at the time. And I was able just to say, fuck you, I quit. I said to her, I said, you took way too much pleasure in giving that job to me.
All right, but my question is, you saw the pleasure that she had in giving you that job before you cleaned it, right?
Yeah.
So why not quit before you clean it?
Because
why not say fuck yourself? Go fuck yourself. I'm not doing this. I quit. 2
reasons. One, I didn't know that I was going to quit until after I got done and came up and told her it was done, and I saw how much pleasure she was getting out of it. She really, like, if she had a dick, she had a hard on at that moment. She was hard as could be. And the other reason is I wasn't above doing that job. I'm saying at that point, like you said, was that in the job? Could it be part of your job? I wasn't above that. And my point was, to me, in my head, when I said that to her, it's not that I'm not above this. It's just that you had so much fun giving me that job. I never want to work for somebody who gives someone a shitty job and feels so good about themselves because they had the power to give me that shit job.
You know what you should have did after you cleaned the shit up?
Just went back and shit on the floor?
Go back.
Believe me, I thought about it. But by the way, there's going to be another shit back there in about 5 minutes. You might send somebody back.
Right.
But my point was, if I can't understand or appreciate, I can empathize with some of the feelings that you might have had, that these women might have had at this place. But we all have been in jobs that we feel demeaned. And it has nothing to do with the fact that it happened at the Playboy Club. Out of all the jobs that are that lucrative, and let's call it a sex industry job then. If you want to take it into that position, out of all the sex industry jobs at that time, which would be working in the peep shows, being a streetwalker, being a hoe that got pimped out, I'm saying like a call girl. That's the word that I was looking for.
Or an escort.
An escort. Any of that stuff, all the sex work, working in porno, working what, all those sex jobs, the Playboy job wasn't the least demeaning out of them all. If you were willing to take that job, it didn't have benefits.
Right.
It didn't come with some shit.
Right. And I mean, look.
I'm not justifying. I'm just asking.
Look. When you take a job at Disneyland to be one of the characters, you're not allowed to ever take your mask off.
No matter how hot it is.
Or if you throw up in the motherfucker, you're not allowed to take the mask off.
off where people can see you.
Right. And I would think that having to have a mask on with your own vomit muzzled to your face is demeaning
and
degrading. But that's what it is.
And people complain about it. And that's why they quit. That's why they move on. That's why they go somewhere else.
Quit. I think it's, and again, I'm not excusing behavior that is obviously bad or improper or illegal. But anything shy of that, you being asked to put, like the one lady showed a list of, if you're going to work here, improper look or attire. You had to be a certain weight. I forget what all the things were. But again, this is not hidden. This is on paper. This is in plain view. This is the proper attire to be a Playboy bunny here at the Playboy establishment. And the lady read the list and showed the list and then went, this is wrong. This is wrong. It's not how you treat a woman. It's on the paper. You have the choice to read it and go, yay and nay. If that's what the company is, again, anything shy of illegal, improper, no one is forcing you. You are looking at that list, you know what it is, and if you still accept the job, that's on you now. You can't hold a company hostage because you go, I personally don't think this is right, but then you want to be a part of the lucrative job.
The job is lucrative because that attire created that.
There you go.
It's a catch-22. I understand that. But you know what? If a guy, and guys do this job, and you know what? Before we even get off this topic, if you talk to male strippers, do you know anybody who's a dude that stripped?
No.
I do.
You do? I
had a friend from high school that became a stripper when he was 18 or 19, right after high school. Dude, they're not told no at the strip club.
The men?
The women.
Oh.
The women grab dicks. They'll go jump in there, grab the dick. They're grabbing the ass. And guys are expected, because they're guys, that's okay. And that just goes along that way. Dude, everybody gets objectified. I mean, I wish I got objectified more. I'm not getting objectified enough to make my ego feel good. I'm saying that tongue in cheek. I don't mean it. Someone who's being harassed and feels horrible about it. I was joking, but I'm saying in the same situation, women present the same thing, if not more aggressive, because they're allowed to. They're allowed to be that way.
Right.
I know that in a strip club, if I to touch a girl, I'm getting kicked out. He said he was being like, he would come home with like scratch marks and, you know, so.
Yeah, like men, we're not even, the idea of a man complaining about the things that a woman would complain about is almost laughable. Like it's not even taken seriously.
Well, it was hard.
Like that's like when women go, and a lot of the women said this and have said this throughout life in terms of sexual harassment or abuse or rape. Women don't get believed. We're not believed. And if we're being honest and we're being fair and we're being equal, and I'm not, I get it. And women should be listened to and taken seriously. And as we've always said, and I've said a million times, with due process, of course. But women should be taken seriously. Absolutely. But then how is it that men aren't taken serious at all?
Well, it's only
and it's a joke and it's a punchline.
It's only recently that men had a legitimate grounds for sexual abuse or sexual assault in a workplace. And I'm not saying that because we hadn't had it before that it shouldn't be taken seriously. It should be taken seriously. But when does it cross the line? When When is it actually where it is a job that it's almost like you have to be demeaned and you have to be degraded, and that's part of the job. I don't think that that's part of the job. I think there's a limit that certain people can handle that and certain people can't. And if you can handle it, like we talked about in the previous episode about if you're a person who specializes, and I use the word titillation because I think that's what these jobs do. But if that's where you feel your feminine power to be able to have control over a man by using your womanly wiles that way.
I like that, womanly wilds.
There are women that specialize.
Is that a U term or is that a real term?
I just said it. I don't know if that's a real thing.
Well, then I like that.
But if that's yours, if you have that ability and you function highly in that, and it rewards you, you're a person that is built for. And to throw this under the bus is that it's not that you felt that way. I think the key word in that sentence is you felt that way.
It sounds like a thick novel book that they used to sell at the grocery stores with the Fabio nigga on the cover. Womanly Wilds, like something that a 400-pound fat bitch reads with her cats while drinking Nescafe, home alone, wishing for dick. Womanly Wilds.
That should be a scent.
Yeah, man. I like that. Womanly Wilds.
And listen, we're two guys talking about something that maybe we don't have any business talking about.
No, we have all the business in the world. And this is part of the equality bullshit. It's like the conversation is public domain. There's no gender on conversation. You know, it's public domain.
But I know there's women that disagree, and I would like to.
Of course they disagree.
But I wish they could interject those feelings into what we're saying right now, passionately as we feel about it this way. Because I would like, I respect. I unfortunately, no, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I fortunately respect women, which maybe skews my perspective because maybe I don't see it as what they've had to go through. From a guy that just doesn't have any respect for a woman whatsoever.
But that's a different thing. If a guy that doesn't have respect for a woman and is doing something that is improper based on that lack of respect, doing something that is illegal on that lack of respect is a totally different thing.
But again, and this is where people get right into and this is what I do on this podcast for these people that want you to understand this. I do try to see this from someone else's footsteps, get into their shoes. We know that money is power too. And so if it's a powerful man with a lot of money and he goes too far and he's grabbing where he shouldn't be grabbing,
wrong.
Is he getting kicked out though? Or is he, you know what? He's a good customer. We'll just move him to another girl.
They said in the episode I saw that Don Cornelius had a couple of girls come up to his house for a party. And one, it was specifically said in the Playboy rule book by Hefner, none of the Playboy bunnies were to have personal relationships, trade phone numbers, deal with any of the customers at the Playboy establishments. They weren't to have any liaisons, no kind of, everything that was at work stayed at work. A few of the girls made the choice to go to Don Cornelius' house at his party, and for 2 days, they claimed it was two girls that went. They were both sisters. They were locked in separate rooms, bound in separate rooms, beaten in separate rooms, drugged in separate rooms, and eventually one of the girls escaped to a telephone in the house, called the official Playboy security guy who was in charge of keeping the women safe. He went over to Don's house. He got them out. But then a week or two later, Don Cornelius, because he had platinum status as a Playboy member, was back at the Playboy,
the Playboy
Club.
Yeah.
And they were like, how does that happen? Now that I understand completely.
You feel like he should have been kicked out or lost his membership?
Kicked out or something. But again, this thing where you hold the company hostage to what you believe the standard should be, when if the standards aren't anything that's illegal, those are the fucking standards. On one of the lists they had, you had to weigh a certain weight. And if you gain 5 pounds, you could lose your job. Well, then don't gain 5 fucking pounds. It tells you, and a requirement as such is not illegal. That's what fits the brand. I don't see the problem with that.
If
in boxing, if you don't make weight,
you can't fight.
You can't fight. You have to make the weight. So come on with that. Miss me with that.
Well, and I was going to say, but in this business, it's purely aesthetic. But so is the business. It's about your look. So
yes.
if the business is based on your look, then I don't understand how.
That's what I'm saying. And again, it ain't like this is sex trafficking. You were kidnapped off the streets and forced to do this or else. You made a choice. You're an adult. Assume responsibility for the choice that you made.
Well, and there was rules, obviously, that were in place to help protect the girls. And if they broke those rules and these things happen, I mean, that's why the rules were in place. So it's not like I haven't seen it, but
listen, I don't know if it's 5 episodes, 10. I don't need to see multiple episodes of the same horse shit. This is bullshit.
Yeah, and you know they were on Hefner too. So if he would have been doing anything illegal,
right,
or at that time, especially at the time, they would have deemed immoral. I mean, that look was already close to.
But
the edge.
Immoral is not illegal.
No, but anything that would have been immoral, if they would have felt that if Hefner was setting up these girls with the guests, that would have been immoral, and where they could have came in and tried to make it something that it wasn't.
Yeah, but is that illegal?
It could be if it was done as a business.
On some prostitution shit?
Yeah, like he's trying to set up that kind of. So, but they were always watching him. So he really was being above board. I don't know. I haven't seen the video. I have to take some of what these women say. I would like to know more about it. I'm probably going to watch it, to be honest. I am.
Yeah, I just,
But I would like to know more about it. But I mean, we're also talking about a guy who was active in the civil rights movement, doing what he could as a white guy from his. So it's hard. And again, we're going to stop there because I'm not going to get into a whole racial.
Well, listen, just so you don't think this is all caveman woman clubbing. We do want to talk about a great documentary that you put me on to, Rita Moreno.
Yep.
First I'm in the first 5 minutes watching this going, and they went celebrating I want to say 70-year career. And I was like, I never heard of this bitch. But who the fuck is this? But then
you did hear.
I did.
She flew under the radar in a lot of people's.
Right.
Yeah.
This was a bad bitch thing. Yeah. It won an Oscar, a Grammy, a Tony, and an Emmy. Yeah. Who the fuck does that?
And lives a tough life. Not I don't want to use the word tough. Had strife in her life, but succeeded to live to what appears to be a very happy. When you can look back at your life and you're happy with it, no matter how hard things that you had to go through, you're doing all right, man.
Not only that, just the things she had been in, and listen, longevity. You can't put shine enough light on longevity. Because this career can eat you up and spit you out in an instant. And for her to go that many decades and to be successful in so many things, I mean, winning an award in anything is one thing. If you won an Oscar, that's huge. But to be able to do it in the movies, an Emmy for television, a Grammy for recording, a Tony for stage, you're talented. It's like you got black belts in different types of martial arts. I don't know a whole lot about martial arts, but if you're a kung fu champion, you're a fucking karate champion, you're a jiu-jitsu champ. Like she got belts. Yeah, man, bad bitch, man,
dude. People forget because these movies are older. So Streetcar Named Desire, which was a big deal when the movie, and the reason I went right to that one is because that's probably the thing that would be, other than the Electric Company, it's probably the tie-in to most people of her biggest work,
right?
That's most recognizable. But also, and what I was amazed,
just so you know, keep the thought, but the most recognizable, which is where I went, oh shit. West Side Story.
That I meant West Side Story from the beginning.
Okay.
Sorry, I fucked that up.
And she wasn't even in Streetcar.
Yeah, she wasn't. No, I fucked it up. Right. I was just because I was getting
Marlon Brando. I was
getting to my other part about Marlon Brando. That's why I tied him up. I fucked up. but to do the work that she did, and this is how I was going to get into it with Marlon Brando, to make women have a better voice that had an ethnic background and weren't always just the thick accented person that doesn't have a real purpose in the movie other than to look good and have a bad accent.
But she complained that a lot of her roles were that.
But she wanted out of that, and this is where I was going to go with when you said now I can West Side Story. She starts dating Marlon Brando. She has a little bit of power when you're dating Marlon Brando,
right?
Which again, it took a man. I can hear women. Yeah, she had to have a man to get that. But you did. But you did.
That was the time.
And she used it to help break those barriers down.
Right.
Not that I don't know that Marlon Brando willingly did that, but it gave her some more power, some leverage, and she took advantage of it, and she did, and rightfully so. And she made changes, and she's one of those people that, as we look at this landscape, and you talk about the changes in race and how it's portrayed on television and movies, which affects the overall landscape as well, because it's a visual medium. She's one of those people that don't get any recognition, really. That it's kind of has, again, flown under the radar in that aspect of her life as well. So when I saw this...
And a fucking star on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was excited to see her get some due. And I don't have a lot of things to say about this. She's lived an interesting life, and I found the documentary to be very interesting. Right. And it gave me some knowledge. It gave me more knowledge. Right. And so I highly recommend it for people to check it out because she has an amazing career. When I first went to watch it, I go, I'll give it 15 minutes and see if I can struggle through this.
Right.
And I didn't have to. After 5 minutes, I was kind of into it and saw it. And you know what? Because I had a relationship with her in Electric Company.
Hey, you guys. I didn't even know that was her.
Yeah. But when I saw her and then you put it all together, not that this is the most important part, but she was super attractive woman.
Dude, when she said, I think how she landed her first contract, I forget what the movie studio was, but she went to go see the head guy at his penthouse at the Waldorf Astoria. And I guess she had her mother purposely make her up to look like Liz Taylor. And the first thing he says is, oh my God, you're a Latin Liz Taylor. Yeah, she was a cutie, man.
And the reason I bring it up, and it's not the end all be all, but my relationship with her from the Electric Company, when I first was introduced to her, to me, that's when I first got to know her. From the Hey You Guys to looking back at her career, I mean, she first of all, she's an amazing dancer. That's really was her into Hollywood. But to see someone that you see as Hey You Guys, and then you see the body of her work and everything that she's done in between, and to know that she could play like the sexiest all the way to Hey You Guys to whatever to basically who she is today.
Right.
This is a talented lady who's rolled through this industry in a way that most people in this industry would hope to have a career.
Yeah, first off, it's like, things have changed because back in the day when they called them the pictures, whenever you signed to a studio, and she said it, they owned you.
Yeah.
And I hate that word own, but they literally told you what to do, how to do it, what to wear. Now it's not so, what's the word? Now it's not so controlling in that sense. Because now the stars, they kind of set their own rules. And obviously, the bigger star you are, the more power you have, the more say you have. But again, just to be a woman in that time, and I want to believe that Hollywood was difficult for anybody other than white men. Certainly, if you were black, you knew the shit was hard. But if you were a woman, it was almost just as hard. But still, as a woman, I'm sitting there thinking like, all the shit you got to put up with, all the shit you got to endure. And hold up, I just want to refer to this note real quick. It's almost like I love that great joke Chris Rock had, and he kind of applied it to America, but I think it applies to show business too. When he said, America is like the uncle that paid your way through college but molested you. And as horrible as some of the stories are for women in Hollywood, what's so crazy about this business and sick to be about this business is as rough and as fucked up as it could be on your psyche and your soul, the part that keeps you clamoring for more is when it works for you, it can change your life.
Yeah.
It could give you money beyond your wildest dreams. You can go from obscurity to worldly famous, people kissing your ass, people giving you shit for free. It's like there is a royalty in being famous. There's a royalty in being a celebrity and being successful. And that narcotic is powerful. Now, it's unfortunate, yeah, you get treated a certain way as you're on the come up. But even while you're going through it, you're getting a lot of good shit, a lot of advantages. When she told that one story about how she had to do a death scene and her character fell off the cliff and was laying in the water, and she said she was getting stung by a bunch of jellyfish, and the director basically yelled at her, "You're supposed to be fucking dead. Stop moving." Now, one, that's fucked up. It's wrong. If she's getting stung by jellyfish, no director would do that today.
No.
The directors would care enough about the actors to go, "Are you all right? Oh, shit, jellyfish. Let's do something about this. Change the location." Back then, it was...
Well, but wait a minute, though, too. If it was a... Dude, and I'm going to make this racial. If it was a white actress, do you think he would have cared more?
Maybe.
But
Maybe.
Because she's still just a spoke in this wheel trying to get this job done.
Yes, and she's still a woman.
Yeah, but I do think if she was a white woman, it would have been taken a little differently. I mean, when you said as a woman, it's difficult, but as
Latin woman.
Yeah, anytime you put that under, look at the part she's playing. When you play a part like that,
stereotypical.
They recognize you as that stereotype. When you're playing, for a fact, if you're a director out of a movie at that time, and you're playing the maid, and you're in the movie, I can almost guarantee you're getting treated like the maid, not like you're an actress in the movie.
Yeah. Now that you brought up maid, I have to give that great quote by Hattie McDaniel, who played Beulah, the first black woman to win supporting actress Oscar. Two quotes. Well, one she was forced to say by the studio, because remember back then they owned you. And I'm a credit to my race. And her acceptance speech.
It's terrible.
Terrible. And then she wasn't allowed to sit with the rest of the cast in the audience. She had to sit in a different room.
The black room.
The black room.
They had green room. Maybe that's why they had made green rooms, so that they wouldn't be called the white room.
All right. When asked about, and look, hat tip to the sister, because as demeaning and as degrading and as stereotypical as it was for us to be seen as servants and for her to play a maid, she said, "I would rather make $10,000 playing a maid than $10 being one." Bravo, sister. Bravo. If you look at the positive.
Now, and I guess this is where, as our earlier conversation when we talked about when you brought up that the documentary on Hugh Hefner. Listen, Rita Moreno is going through all the same thing that this lady's talking about at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
And worse, because there's no protection for her. There's nothing to watch over. There's no Playboy security to make sure as a matter of fact, if you watch it, and this is where the sad part of this, I make it sound nice because I make it sound good because she survived and she came out on top. The beginning of her career, it's when the studio heads and the people who are producers are trying to get you to fuck other people, that's a problem. That's straight up pimping and shit right there.
She said at the party, the one executive who was dancing with her, and she said it wasn't even close dancing. He was grinding. And she said he started to have sweat beads on the top of his lip, and he whispers to her, she goes, he straight out tells me, "I want to fuck you."
It looked like the way she was describing it, I think he already came.
Right. That's why the sweat beads was on his lip. And the other guy, important guy, said to her, "You're a sexy little bitch, aren't you?" And she said she ran out to, I guess, a foyer or somewhere outside of the party. And one of the Mexican attendees that was like a help.
Yeah.
Saw she was distressed and crying. and he put his jacket over her and made sure she got home. So it's like, to have to deal with that, but at the same time, you know, awards, movies, money, better life, fame, all the good that comes with that, you know.
I don't hang out with Rita Moreno, so I don't know what her actual feelings are to this day. But when she describes her journey through Hollywood, and she goes through all the dark stuff, especially there, all the way even to when she's dating famous men, and how difficult that is.
Right.
She goes through all that, but never did I feel she was saying that this was the demeaning part.
Mm-hmm.
Degradation never was what she was. It was about pushing forward and moving through and succeeding, getting to the next dot and making the changes, working for the changes that she wanted.
Right.
This is different. This is what I'm talking about. People, all different people. There's different people all throughout our landscape, but some people are wired for this kind of opportunity to take it and knock down the barriers that they have to knock down.
All right.
And I guess this is where I'm having some issues of listening to some people complain about, and I shouldn't say complain. They should be able to air out their grievances if they have grievances, but it's the way that they tell their story that makes them sound like a victim, where she never sounds like a victim through her story.
Right.
She's been victimized and she says it, but I always see her as, you know, and again, I was really prideful of this because although that my heritage is Mexican, but I told you, when you're Mexican, anybody who has any Latin heritage, we're all in it for them because we're taking what we can get. And you know, I see my mom in that woman. You know, I see my mom in the way that she gets setbacks. She has to go through things and she pushes through. And my mom's life isn't the sparkliest one. And I guess maybe that's what it is when you were raised, when you have people that have to work and push through things. And then you hear other people who are just, I think that's a lot of why my thought process is where it's at. But she's a credit, man. She deserves, and she isn't asking to be more famous. She isn't asking for anything.
Seemed like one of the most down to earth
people,
humble people on the planet.
I'm so proud of this woman from a state of humanity. I don't know her, but from what I saw in that, and I was very moved by it. That's why I told you I thought we had to watch
when I asked you that question the other on the part one of the podcast, if you could come back as either a black person or a woman, what would you do? Part of what stemmed from that was this. You know, there's such a rich culture in the Latino culture and in the black culture. And I'm not trying to say that there isn't a rich culture within the white culture. But the biggest thing I take from the outside looking in as a black person that to me would be the most fun about being white is all the advantages that come with being white. And I'm going to read this, even though I'd rather not, because I don't want to, but I have to, because I don't want to butcher it. I basically had a note when I was watching this where I said, she talks about being a woman at that time and in that era where if you had a studio contract, the studio owned you, and they often use women as sex objects. It's weird. I would never want to be a woman because it's more fun and less stressful to be a man. Plus, not to mention the advantages. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to be white because it's not as fun and it's worth the stress, and it's not worth the stress despite the advantages. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody said to me, yo, in your next life, you want to be a white person, knowing what black culture is, knowing how fun black culture is, I'll go black again. But you would think, why not be white? That way you don't have to deal with the stress and you have the advantages of being white. No, but it's just not as much fun to me. It's not as rich to me, the culture. Because, and then this might be me being ignorant, and forgive me to the white people that listen to this. But again, from the outside looking in, other than not having to deal with the stresses that black people have to deal with and that white privilege, which is a real thing, what else is there to the culture that I'm missing?
Well,
that's fun.
Well, here we gotta.
And black people are so the creators and inventors of so many things that are copied. So where's the fun if I'm one of the Mayo people?
Well, I gotta have, it's a deeper conversation for me if you really want to have it. It's going to take me a couple minutes to set it up though.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, first of all, you said black and you said white. And then this goes back to like Whoopi and everything that we're going through right now. First of all, white culture doesn't exist anywhere else but in America. Guess what? Black culture only exists in America as well. This is new. Because before this, there was African culture, and then it was what part of Africa you were from, if you were black and part of that culture, or you could have been black from other places, but that culture was legitimately from that area. White culture wasn't white culture. It was Italian culture, which if you're Italian, you don't see yourself necessarily as white. When you see yourself as a Spanish, you don't see yourself as white. All the European countries, other than the Aryan countries, the Aryan, like Nazis saw themselves as white, as the Puritans, as the white country. That was white. America is a separate entity developing two different cultures here. And they're really developing two. They're developing because white doesn't exist as black doesn't exist. This is new. And it's not, and it's culture. It's not race. This is where Whoopi is off because it's not race. There's one race. I'm going to get into this and people are going to send me this. It's a human race. And then it's all cultural or tribal or however you want to look at it because we're all humans. So this is where it comes from. And this is how we're set up. But where else does this come from? Now, in this country, all these other ethnic groups have developed this country. And then because of our relationship to slavery, we formed two groups because of this, black and white. And that's why where I say Whoopi wasn't wrong, but she isn't right. This is what happened in this country. This is where we are. This is a completely new creation.
Right, but when you say that it's new and there is no, how'd you say it?
There's no white culture.
There's no black culture. Didn't you say, no, I don't want to fuck
no, let me rephrase that real quick because the way you said it made me realize it. There is now, but previously it was an African culture or it was a culture.
What I will say is, since we've been here, our culture has expanded to the entire world. Everyone mimics Black America.
That's why I said this isn't an easy conversation because it gets bigger than this. The export from this country, the biggest export from this country is black culture, which unfortunately, whether you want to admit this or not, is American culture.
I don't deny that.
Because
it's American culture in the sense that we are Americans.
Yes.
But it is black in terms of it is ours.
Yes. Well, and because the only culture that could come from this country is this black culture that that was cultivated here, because every other culture that was here came from Europe. And the reason African culture didn't come from here is because when the enslaved people came here, they were removed from their culture, not allowed to practice their culture. So that, again, and I've said this before, that is a rerouted, rebuilt, regrown culture here in this country that was created, and it is solely, you can't go to Africa and be who you are and say, I fit in this group. You fit into this American culture. The only way you fit into that group is because they picked up American culture. And when you go to France and you go anywhere there, that's the American culture. But this has been exported all over. And, we want to get more technical about it. The explosion of hip hop culture has really cemented this throughout the whole world.
I'm not denying anything you're saying.
Okay, so we're all with this together. But
I'm just saying, and again, I may be ignorant, but when I think about what white culture is, I think hamburgers, hot dogs, beer, and woo! That
is definitely part of it. But what the other part is, where the white culture is also intercepting and absorbing black culture.
Stealing.
Absorbing.
Stealing.
You call
potato. You say tomato. Let's call the whole thing off.
Okay, and now let's get to the next part about this, and this is where Rita Moreno comes in this. How does this other cultures that doesn't identify as black or white fit into this dichotomy here that we have of America? Now, this is where it gets confusing because we really have simplified this, and only recently do you see people go, well, black, brown culture and white culture. I mean, the brown culture is an afterthought to this.
Right.
So we're really being this is the most honest. This is very honest to.
I just want to make sure my point doesn't get lost in what I'm saying, and this is the tie that I'm making into Rita Moreno and the Latin culture, whether it's the food, the music. You know, I don't know I'm not very diverse in all the what it is Latin culture, but from what I know or from what I've experienced, the language, the music, the food. It's a very rich culture. And from the outside looking in, it feels like that's a place I would want to be.
Right.
That's a place I would want to experience. It seems fun and exciting and sexy to be Latino. If I were Latino, I would go, it seems fun and sexy and cool to be Black. You know, if I knew enough about the rich history of Asian culture, I'm sure there are things I could look at and go, man, that seems cool. Now, I'm not saying, and when you say it the way you say it, this is where I feel dumb because I guess I'm speaking out of turn, but from where I'm standing, from what I know about the history of white folks in America and what they've done and how they move, for lack of better words, chaos. And I guess chaos can be fun, but it's woo! Turning tables over and flipping shit over and breaking shit, mayhem and wilding out and hamburgers and hot dogs and beer and I don't give a fuck. Woo! Gunshot, gunshot, gunshot.
Okay, well, when's the last time you've been in somewhere and you met that guy?
I've never met that guy, but I've seen it.
Okay. You've seen it because we
know it exists.
We know it exists. When's the last time you met the gangster that's portrayed from, I'm going to use Chicago only because that's the American way of that's the gangster pinpoint. Unless you go old school, we went to L.A. and we went into, but let's go right now because that focus is in Chicago. When's the last time you met the gangster murderer from Chicago? The guy who's just shooting people for.
Now, you talking about a time period, or you mean today?
Today. When's the last time you met that guy?
Oh, I probably stood on the subway with him. I just didn't know that was him.
Exactly.
Some of them niggas go to my shows.
Exactly. We're not meeting these people. These are characters of us. And then when we see someone who matches the character, we throw it up there as the representation. More or less Black people kill each other. When I say this, more or less Black people, there's more Black people that work a regular life, have a regular job, have a regular life than there are the characters that are portrayed on the media.
Oh, I'm sure.
Same
I'm sure.
thing.
But I've never rubbed shoulders with the Jews will not replace this guy. But we know he
they exist. But we do. We know that they're there. I'm just saying that isn't the culture.
I know that isn't the end all be all.
But that's what we always focus on. When we talk about culture, when we go culturally, we always run to the biggest negative. When the masses are regular people. I hope so.
Maybe because this skin is the pool that I swim in all day, every day, and can't never get out of.
Yeah.
I just tend to instinctively see it through my lens. But I'm just going, if I had to jump out of this skin and jump into another, I would pick Latin or I would pick Asian. Other than going, the advantages of being white is the only thing that would make me pick being white. If you take away those advantages and everybody's truly on the same page, what's the advantage then?
No,
where's the fun?
No, there's a lot less fun. And because when you see, when you watch, especially from my point of view, when I was in college and we were doing, the most fun I ever had was when I was working with music and doing hip hop shit in Tucson. That was the most fun I ever had in my whole life. Honestly, I can say that from throwing the parties, having people come out, getting acts that would coming through Arizona to come and perform. And we were doing shows. Man, that was that, and I'm not saying that's the culture, but when you say this and you say, what's the fun?
Right.
That was the most fun I had. And that isn't from white culture. Listen,
stereotypes are obviously fucked up, but I've always said stereotypes can't breathe unless there's truth to it.
Exactly.
So if I'm looking at, all right, I'm an invisible energy source, but I can jump into a human skin. Black folks, basketball, musically inclined, soulful, can sing, can dance, big dicks, and are quick. Latino, great music, salsa, great language, very sexy. Boom. Asian. Now, I know less about the Asians, but I know stereotype. Martial arts experts can kick ass and look good doing it. Noodles and pho. You know what I mean? Now white. Break shit. Jump in the ceiling fans. Put your dick and your balls on your man's nose. Have him do it back to you. Wild out. Win a sporting event. Flip over cars. Destruction. Mayhem. Get drunk and plaster till you black out. Woo! My pick is easy. Anything before that.
Your pick is easy, but again, that doesn't. What you said, your pick is easy, but that's not going to stay that way. And two, you also made a stereotype of a black man. What if you become what if you're born you who can't play basketball?
Right.
Now I'm going to give you a teeny dick.
Okay.
No rhythm.
Right.
Because that exists.
Well, I just got rhythm in the last 10 years.
Okay, but that exists.
But the other two things are true.
Yeah, but that exists, right? All those, you take all those things away that you say are the greatest, and you're just the black dude without all that shit.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Okay, but that exists.
But it ain't the norm.
Okay, and it's not the norm for white people to be all the things you say. I see
what you're saying. I know what you're saying. And part of me, honestly, is being cute.
Yeah, I got it.
But, you know.
But it's getting closer to where this culture, and the reason I brought up brown people, and I said brown, I didn't include Asians in this, and I'll get to this in a second, because in brown culture, which would be Latino culture, right? When I said black, and I said American blacks are rerouted people, so they are strictly a culture that is unique to this soil, right?
Right.
The white people that come over here are merging these European cultures to make people who celebrate the weirdest group of holidays together,
right.
And they all live here, and they're trying to meld this European culture into one culture. Then you take the Hispanic culture, and there's connections though.
Right.
There's connections to their. They're not disconnected.
Right.
They're no longer like we're like someone who might have been 10 generations ago Italian or been Irish or they're Americans. The Latino culture is still rooted in real culture that's next to this country. So that country is still their country's influence on their culture is still prominent in this.
Right.
So that's what I'm just trying to get to about what this culture is. And then the Asians, I don't think they're ever going to give up any. Their culture's coming with them no matter where they go. Very few,
right.
And very few in past in like if you go back like 3 generations, I think that the Asian culture is still rooted heavily into that culture. Where like where white. And I'm using white as this example of European culture. I don't think that there is connected to their European roots 3 generations ago as Asian culture is. So, but this meld, this thing that's eventually supposed to melt, you can see it a little bit because there's white dudes that fit the group that you're talking about in what you consider culturally black. And there's black dudes that are fitting into that white. The only difference is we got to get past this skin color thing. That's the thing that separates us. And that's when I was talking about Whoopi, she saw it as that skin color was that defined it. And I think that is a weird way of looking at 2 people that are exactly the same, but just have 2 different color uniforms on.
Right. Okay.
And I'm talking biologically the same. I know we still have cultural differences. I'm not trying to oversimplify it.
Right.
But I don't know if that helps. And I don't know if that went too far away from what we were talking about.
No, it ties in. Dude, I want to go back to Marlon Brando for a second. And he's truly regarded as old Hollywood royalty, but one of the greatest, most respected actors of all time. I don't know if you saw Streetcar Named Desire. And again, this was the gift to me that my dad had given to me. I've seen all these old movies,
so have I.
Black and whites, and Streetcar Named Desire was Marlon Brando. He was at the apex of his Marlon Brando-ness. He was Brad Pitt before Brad Pitt.
Yeah, people just think about him from like in our age group, if they never saw those movies, they
Right.
think about him from like Superman
Oh, the big fat
or The Godfather.
disgusting nigga. Yeah.
The
Right.
Godfather. That's that's all they see him as.
Not even Superman, the movie where he was just a whale of himself.
Oh, that's the movie.
The Score.
The Score. Okay.
With De Niro and Edward Norton. Bye-bye. Hello, bye-bye. That guy, that nigga was Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. Also in the one he did with
Val Kilmer.
yeah.
The Island of Dr. Monroe.
Yeah, that was.
Ooh.
But when you find if you saw the documentary,
Yes.
oh yeah, well that's where we
Yes.
saw that. But have you ever? There's more information on that too.
And like they put that nigga, he was wheelbarrowed to set.
Yeah, but he gave up on that movie because it was a fucked up venture. So
Right.
But yeah, that's how they know Marlon Brando. People don't know that good looking
Oh, he was a fucking stud, nigga.
dude. But you'll go on. I don't want to.
No, I'm just saying it, No,
I was just gonna say this dude. This is what happened. This is why Hollywood's so weird to me. So you used to said he's a stud,
Right.
But then you hear about he had liaisons, both male and female.
Yeah,
You
he's a
hear-
freaky nigga.
Dude, when you have when you get too many options, when you're good looking, have money, have fame,
Yeah,
and you have too many options.
I've heard people say that. I don't believe that. Before I would even dream of fucking a dude, I would go on I have to fuck every woman on the planet tour. Like, I mean, every bitch on the planet, nigga. Not a single piece of box I have not entered. And that's impossible.
So what you're saying is, you're in your room, right? And there's a waiting room of all the pussy in the world to come in to fuck you, right?
Yes.
And all you do 24/7 is just fuck all the women out there.
Yes.
And then one day you go to open up the door to see who's next, and it's just a dude standing there.
Because I fucked every single one.
And then you can look at him and go, I guess.
You up? What if every bitch you fucking did like rock stars? And once you came and you popped out of them, thank you, Detroit. Good night, Pittsburgh.
Hollywood's a weird place in general anyway, because I think a lot of people, especially at that time, went there to escape who they were.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, again, I'm speaking from inexperience, but just the feeling I get, the smell that I can, it's in the air, the pheromones, the spidey sense, something tells me when you get to the higher upper levels when you get to the penthouse of Hollywood and you got that golden key, this does something to you. The fame, the adulation, the women, the power, the material thing. I'm not saying it has to, but it's so intoxicating that it does something with the whatever, the chemicals in your brain. It does something to you.
That you have to be a fully formed individual inside not to be affected by that.
Yes. Keep you a Mac Mittens, nigga, or a nigga from Detroit with that dirty fingernail to just scratch your neck and say, nigga, come on. I'm telling you, the small tastes of what I have received from time to time made me go, this is amazing. Are you fucking for real? And this is, again, I'm on the lower tier of this shit. Something tells me when you get to that penthouse room, man, this fucks with people.
Now, I don't want to make this all sexualized and like that fame just gives you. But when Danny Bonaducci is 14 or 15 years old and 21 and 22, 23-year-old women are trying to fuck him, there is something weird about that. That it brings you that kind of.
But again, the power of television and movies and fame, as intoxicating as it is to you, the artist, the person, it fucks with regular Joes even harder. Because I'm telling you, dude, it's almost like, again, I love animals. I love animals, dude. I love watching National Geographic. I love going to zoos. I loved it when I went to Africa and went on a safari. It's something so majestic to me about looking at a fucking lion or an animal that's not a house pet. And you're like, holy shit, that's the thing on TV. That's a bear, nigga. Look how it moves. Look what whoa. That's what celebrities are like for some people. When they go, oh shit, so-and-so is walking across the street. It's like they're seeing a loose lion in their neighborhood. Because where else would you see that person other than your television?
Exactly the reason why, when I've talked to you about this, I'm very affected by entertainment, by movies, and I'll tell you that these movies really affected me, moved me in a way. Comedy really affected me, moved me in a way. But like you just said, in my head, growing up in Tucson, I was like, I didn't realize if you liked it, all you got to do is go to where it's at, and it can. I thought it was so far. I thought it was like royalty. I thought it was so far away from me that you had to be almost born into it, or someone saw your extreme talent and said, "You son, you're the one.
Right.
You're the chosen one to come to Hollywood and make a movie. You're the one." It never, until I was older, dawned on me that you just do it and you hope for the best. I didn't realize that's how people did this shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, I'll see somebody who's really not that famous, but I recognize them. And I'm not going to go, oh my God, because that's just not me and I'd be being phony. But I might give him a little nudge and go, hey, yo.
Dude, and I'm not saying he's not famous, but the dude from the DC comic book that we ran into in New York.
Oh, Ray Fisher.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's not the most famous dude in the world.
Not at all, because prior to Justice League, what did you see him in?
Right. But when you spotted him, you
Nah, nigga, and I didn't go Ray Fisher.
No.
I went Cyborg.
Yeah. And you did it coolly though too. You didn't, because too many people have done that to you, where you're in a bunch of people around and will go Harry Spears, and then you have to deal with the fact that he just announced to everybody that you're Harry Spears. You did it very cool when you went hey, and then you caught back up to him. And it was a moment, but I see the appreciation that you have for that though as well.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, and again, I don't want to turn it up too many notches, but again, I'm not like I could imagine. And what's weird about me saying this is, it ain't like, nigga, I didn't know Kevin. Like, before Kevin blew up, me and Kevin see each other at the clubs. What's up, nigga? Yeah. We talk. When we did Shaq's All-Star Comedy Jam, what's up, nigga? At one point in time, I had his number in my cell phone, and I could call him up and be like, yo, what up, Kev? Hey, what's going on? Kevin Hart. You know, I can't do Kevin Hart. But it was that. Now, being that he is where he is now, I know when people, if they see him on the streets, they'll lose their fucking minds.
Right.
So to me, I don't see that. I know it is that, but I don't see that. To me, it's Kevin. You know, so it's like when people see me and they react the way they do sometimes, I'm just like, word. Like, come on, man. Stop. But at the same time, I love it. But I'm just like, now could you just imagine, like seeing Dave Chappelle would just be like seeing, what the fuck?
The closest I can come to understanding what you're saying is, after a good show, a good set, I may have someone that gets me, finds me, like when I'm going to do something outside the room, like they're on the way to the bathroom or something, and they stop me and want to have this conversation.
Right.
I don't know how you fucking do that, because I sometimes I go through and I go, in my head, I'm like, I appreciate the shit out of you. Can you just be done with me now?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's there's almost like a thing that takes over where, because you're famous, or even as you say in your case, now you're not famous, you don't have a movie career, TV career, but you touch someone on stage for 30 minutes. You made a room full of people simultaneously respond to you, laugh at you. So now that guy, by talking to you, he's getting some of your aura.
Right.
He's getting some of that, like, yo, I talked to that dude that had everybody laughing for 30 minutes. So by making that connection of him noticing me, talking to me, I get something. There's something that he takes from that. I don't know,
No, I agree with you. It's all about this energy and how we're absorbing other people's energy.
Right.
Or, as you said, stealing.
Stealing. Absorbing. Stealing. Stealing. Parallel thinking. Dude, I saw a clip on Instagram, and this is so cool about The Rock. He was in his car, and he said, just before he pulled up to the roofless van that takes people around Hollywood looking at famous spots, just before he pulls up, he goes, watch this. I'm going to shock these people. So he pulls up. Hey, you guys know where I could get to? The whole van loses its collective shit. Girls start crying. I love you. And that's The Rock, nigga. He is the highest paid actor. He is a movie star. So I'm telling you, that moment fucked them people's whole day up for the rest of the fucking day.
but made their day.
Made their day. They just saw an actual male jungle lion with the mane and everything go rawr next to the window.
So Hollywood's just a giant zoo.
Yeah.
And people are just paying money to come look at what's in the cage.
But we're not in cages. We're on the loose.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Because once you become famous, you're kind of caged a little bit.
A little bit, but you never know where we may pop up.
You're more like the Siegfried and Freud lion.
Yeah, we in the suites.
You're in the suites.
Right. And you might see us come down the elevator and walk through the lobby.
And if you piss me off,
maul the shit out you. Yeah, man, just hats off to this woman. It's a great documentary, Rita Moreno. And she's had a career since her early youth. She's in her 70s?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was until I saw it. She was the fucking psychiatrist on Oz.
Yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a big watcher of Oz, but I watched it a few times and I went, oh, that's right.
Dude, Oz was one of those shows that I was afraid to tell people I watched it. It's such a, was I deranged from watching this?
Right.
Was I a sick person to want to watch this?
And she's the grandmother. I forget what the show is called. I think on ABC, that Latin show.
I never saw that. I haven't seen that show. I haven't watched regular television. When I say regular television, I haven't watched the three major stations in.
Right. I haven't either.
Yeah.
So yeah, her career has spawned decades. So and I always just respect someone with longevity because it's the hardest thing to do, especially for a woman and a person of color. Yeah, man.
So that was a good recommendation. I finally I got a good one in.
Oh, that was good. And I was at first, I was like, why is Andy having me watch this? Who is this bitch? In the first 5 minutes, I just kept going, who is this bitch? But when they started showing her work, you couldn't help, and her work combined with her story.
Yeah.
You couldn't help but go, oh, this is right.
You know, and the beginning, if you guys watch this, if you do take a chance on and watch it, the beginning, at first, like you said, 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Right.
It takes a minute to get into it, but what's important about that is it's her birthday party.
Yeah.
And you know how you were just talking about, you see The Rock and everybody went crazy? This is a woman who's lived a pretty exciting life.
And was an activist.
Right. And she still gets excited about a birthday party, just like everybody else does.
Oh, no, listen, and she's a great spirit.
Yeah, that's what humanized her so much, so that you actually felt for her when shit went wrong, because you saw the human.
Yes. Yeah.
This is really good. I really hope that some of you check it out. I'm glad that I saw it. And to be honest, I wouldn't be here to talk to you about it had I not been on an airplane and had ran out of things to watch on the airplane. I said, I've been looking at this a couple times. Let me just check it out, because I remember her, like I said, from the electric company. I wanted to see it. And I was blown away how good it was. So
yes,
we weren't going to even talk about it this long.
Yeah. So you want to do this Ira?
You want to do it on top of this one, or do you want to?
I don't have, dude, my notes are.
Oh, yeah. Let's put Ira in.
Yeah, let me take a quick piss break.
Okay.
Dude, I only have maybe 3 notes on this.
Okay. We're going to try to combine this in here, Steve. It's going to be a little longer, but this is going to be a quick one. It will get a little racial, though, because...
obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Okay. So...
another documentary that Steinberg recommended to me was Ira, who, I guess, what was his position in the ACLU?
The Mighty Ira. He was the head of the ACLU for... I don't have it down, but it's like over 20 years.
Basically, the ACLU is a defense firm of some sort.
It's protection of our rights.
To free speech.
For free speech, and for people that have been mistreated by laws. And I guess if a company did something, they're a protector of free speech and different legal arguments. How's that?
It opens up where and Ira was a diehard baseball / Brooklyn Dodgers guy.
Yeah, Brooklyn Dodgers.
Right, and he was there before during Ebbets Field, Jackie Robinson, the Brooklyn Dodgers before they moved to LA. And so he takes this ride back to where Ebbets Fields used to be. And now there's like apartment buildings. And I guess one of the things they preserved was in the concrete was some sort of a plaque to look like home plate. And it had something about Jackie Robinson on it. And
it's where home plate actually was. Yeah.
And Ira says he hated Jim Crow and he hated segregation. He didn't know anything about it, but because it affected their guy, Jackie Robinson, which brought me to my question, and it makes me think of Kyla's speech about white privilege when she says the part about the only time you cheer for a black man is in a stadium. And I'm not saying that, Ira's heart wasn't genuine or that someone's heart can't be genuine in an effort to right the wrongs of segregation or Jim Crow. But it often sometimes feel like when there is something at stake, whether it's your love for a sport driven by the black athlete, driven by your favorite black athlete, whether it's the coach who's coaching a young black talent prospect who could become the next big thing, there's something that you gain from this person's success and their comeuppance. So how big of a part does that play in your investment to making sure that shit that's wrong is right? Now, again, Virginia Ham under the arm. I'm not going to complain how it gets done because at the end of the day, it's getting done. So I made a woman with a Virginia Ham under her arm, but you're complaining because you got no bread. So you're going to eat. The Virginia Ham is the problem that's going to be fixed. But because the athlete or not the athlete, that's the bread. So, you know what I mean?
Yep, but or when he described it and he's a young person,
right?
There's some youthful exuberance, and it does happen. And this is where people get confused on what white privilege is. When you're youthful and you don't have a touch or a feel of oppression because you're youthful, you could be poor and not. You hear people say it all the time. We're poor, but we didn't even know it. Right? Have you heard that? Because in your youth, as you're experiencing life and it's coming at you, it doesn't come with the titles of all the problems in it. Being poor is a problem, but you don't even know you're poor because
being racist is a problem too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so not to cut you off, but just because you're on it and it's right there.
Yeah.
Remember in the Jackie Robinson movie 42, when Jackie's on the outfield and the dad is sitting with his son, goes, yeah, nigger, and the kid's looking at his dad confused and then takes a beat and goes, yeah, nigger, and joins in his dad because in his youth, this is what he's being shown.
Yeah, that's what he was being taught.
So
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying, though, in Ira's case, his love for baseball, his love for specifically the Dodgers, because he only has love for the Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers, hates the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Right.
And at the time when Jackie Robinson came, and if you don't have a father that's a bigoted motherfucker,
right,
and is cheering for the team and is happy that Jackie Robinson is on the team, you don't get that. That's privilege. That's the definition of privilege, to grow up without even realizing that that's going on around you. Now, in the case of the dude where you saw it in the movie, that's a whole that's the problem, because one kid's being shown, it's not even being shown that there's racism, but honestly, if you're a Jew, there's racism when you're growing up, and at that time when you know what's happening on the other side of the globe. It's a very interesting time. I don't know that the statement that they were trying to say is well received when you break it down that way. It isn't well received because how you just interpreted it, how you extracted that from there.
Right.
But I think that he was the kid that was going through a time where that wasn't what he was noticing. He wasn't noticing a black player. And he probably lived in, I'm justifying, and I shouldn't be, but I'm saying, because they do talk about New York being segregated at that time, he lived in a Jewish neighborhood. So you wouldn't have the same, it wouldn't affect you the same way that if you lived in a racist white area. And then when I say racist white area, I'm just gonna be honest. If he was living in an Italian neighborhood and a black guy would roll through it, he would know that there's racism at that time.
Right.
So, but I think that he was affected by all of that, though, at the same time, because as he got older, he did understand that there was the racism that was going on. Obviously, he spoke about it as it goes on. And, but what I love about this guy, and if you've seen him on Bill Maher, and this is why
you caught him this recent?
Yeah. And that's why I said, hey, let's watch this, because I knew of him from a very important case that they really go over with. And there's a lot that they go over in this.
Is that the Stokely?
Yeah. Stokey, Illinois.
Stokey.
Yeah. And Nazis wanted to, actually, if you go through this, they didn't actually want to march there. They didn't actually want to have their little march through there. But
they had threatened to.
Because they couldn't have it in Chicago. They were trying to make it so they could have it in actual Chicago, not in Skokie. So what they did is they picked this place, and it has actually had a lot of survivors of concentration camps actually lived in Skokie at the time. There's a lot of people who survived and got out of Nazi Germany and Nazi Poland were there. So it was quite charged.
Right.
And so it was a huge amount of people that wanted no part of that. They didn't. The Jews that lived there did not want the Nazis marching through there. They already had a life where the swastika and the Nazi flag had already taken over their neighborhoods, and they didn't want to have it happen again. One of the reasons that they felt it happened is because as they were watching this happen in Germany and Poland, they didn't ever think that it could actually really happen. They didn't think that was possible, and because they didn't do anything to stop it, it basically ran over them. And so they weren't going to have that happen again. That's the challenge of this movie. There's in this documentary. And although he fights, Ira fought for free speech with no limits. And because of that, he fought on the side of that the Nazis were allowed to have this march. And that's the big part of this documentary and what free speech means and the difficulties with free speech.
That's two things. One, I missed the Phil Donahue show. Of all, and I know at one point in the 80s, and I think Phil was really just 80s, but at one point, I think Phil was kind of the beginning or one of the early starts to the talk show explosion.
He was the.
And of course, Oprah became the undisputed champ queen.
She took it to the next level.
Yes.
She left him in the dust and he retired.
Right. But I remember a lot of those talk shows, Jenny Jones, and I know there are others like
there's so many.
Jerry Springer. They almost became caricatures of themselves. Phil seemed to do real journalism.
Well, I think they started off to be journalistic, and then as there was too many of them, they had to go in sensationalizing the show, and that's how you got Springer.
Right. And when Ira was a guest on Phil Donahue, and Phil purposely planted Jews in the audience and some Holocaust survivors, and of course, this was unbeknownst to Ira, and he had to face the fire from those people, feeling like, why are you defending this scum? Why are you defending this Nazi? Why are you allowing this to happen? And he was explaining that, if you make it so that one group can't express themselves, then you make it so that all groups can't express themselves. And even with that, there were people who were still in disagreement with that. What's your take on that? Because listen, how could you not agree with him? Because again, that is a fucking slippery slope.
Okay, this is how I defend free speech. And once I say this is it. And I can't go back on this. The only speech that needs the defense of freedom of speech is unpopular speech.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to have a parade, and I can even go further with this, if they want to have a parade for we're in America, right? So hot dogs and apple pie parade.
I'm at that, motherfucker.
Right? No one's going to have a problem with that. Let that happen. But if you want to have, let's go 1950s, 60s, 70s even. We want to have a gay pride parade. Could you have that in 1950?
Oh, even better question. Could you have it in 1950 in Money, Mississippi?
Well, I don't know. But it's because that's what needs to be protected. And when people look at why it needs to be protected, it has to be protected because if you can't protect that worst speech, and you can't protect speech that's going, they use these laws, these speech laws, to stop civil rights movement speeches and rallies.
So there you go.
So because it was unpopular. So only unpopular speech needs to be protected. Now, we can say without a doubt, we know that the Nazis are not only unpopular, but that is it is unnecessary in an aspect. It is pungent. It is we've already proven it to be what it is, and that it is not necessary to be in a platform and that we would support. But that's not what this is about. That's not about them. It's about the specifics of free speech. And if you can't maintain free speech on any level, then you can lose it on all levels. And that's so to me, yes, that it was fortunate that it didn't actually happen, but he was on the right side of history.
You know, when they show the Nazis, the Nazi group finally get to the park where they're going to give their speech, two things. One, they were upset because I guess where they were, people couldn't see them. Some of the equipment that they needed to really put
an extension cord.
Right.
They forgot the extension cord.
So some of the things that they needed to make them feel effective wasn't there.
Yeah. And their leader wasn't effective.
Right. And then the second thing is, and this is something that I'd always wondered, and I'm going to ask you, they said they were even drowned out a little bit by the anti-Nazi protesters. And it made me think, just like with Charlottesville and any of these protests where the Nazis and the Proud Boys and the Aryans and all these kooks come out, and then I get the sentiment of that's a great thing to know that on the other side, there's those people, anti-scum protesters. And they're there to let them know we're not going to tolerate hate. We're not going to tolerate racism. And sometimes shit gets physical. Don't you think it would be more effective if when people know that these kind of scumbags are going to come out of the woodwork to hold their rallies and their parades and their protests, why not just make it like, yo, the word is going out. I am legend. Everybody stay home. Don't show up. Let the streets be filled with nothing but air and them. Because if they don't have an audience to play to, how effective is the message?
Okay, but let's take it. I think that there should be a better attempt.
Like, don't play into it.
No, there should be a better attempt at separation so the two sides don't clash together. Do I think they need to be represented in there? I do think they need to be represented in there. Both sides. Anytime.
Well, you don't think it would be more effective if, I mean, like it's almost like a COVID lockdown. There is not a single body on the streets except the police to protect them and them. And that way, when you're doing all the white power and the Jews will not replace us, no one's listening to you. How can your message be effective without an audience?
Well, especially today, because today, back then, I would probably say maybe back then it might have been effective, except for two things, but it could have been more effective then. Today with social media, you can get your message out, and those rallies are just a bonus to what you're building. Social media is really dangerous when it comes to this. But my point that I would make is the clash, and as horrible as this is going to sound, the clash is necessary in a way. The clash is necessary because when the march in Selma happened, the video of what happened, the footage,
right,
what was put on TV,
Bloody Sunday,
is actually to bear witness.
But we're seeing a race of people then who didn't even fight back. And so when you see that, then you see the brutality of the one side. But when you have two groups, be it, and not to, I'm not going to, trump good people, bad people on both sides. We know who the bad people are. But when we see both sides clash, and now we have a Royal Rumble, even though you know the side that stands for good is what is worth paying attention to, I don't know that you feel the same because you're seeing two people wildly go at it.
When you see that car in Charlottesville,
that moment,
and I listen, I still feel terrible for any loss of life that happened. That late, and I apologize because if I was a better person, I'd be able to say her name right now so that we could.
Hayer, I think it's Heather. The last name gets me, but it's Heather.
For her to lose her life for that
Right.
is terrible. For the family to have to struggle through that, it's terrible. But it showed how foul that is. It showed what low moral character that movement, that side produced. And without that, I'm saying I wish there was a better way to have gone about this. When you say stay at home, I wish there was better separation. I wish the police and the National Guard was more available. And they said that they had things. They had protective placement, but because it was the car and the way they came around, they said there was some problems with that. I don't know. I wish there would have been a better way to keep the two sides separated. But I think you have to bear witness. I mean, it has to have somebody.
Dude, then this may be movie thinking. This may be stupid, but I say if y'all gonna go there so that there's no loss of life, so that Heather doesn't lose her life, all right, let's make a moment of it. Let's make it a chips and salsa at home moment. Let's take all the motherfuckers that want to do the Jews won't replace us and niggas ain't shit, and then take all the people who hate those people. Let's make it a pay-per-view event and let them rumble. That way nobody that doesn't deserve to get hurt doesn't get hurt. And let the two sides who want to duke it out. Let me be entertained.
I'm not. We can do Gladiator.
Yeah, why not?
I'm not. I wouldn't say that is completely. I wouldn't say that's just a whacked out idea. I'd say there's more control in it than what has happened in the past.
Now, what if the Nazis and all the Jews that won't replace us and niggas ain't shit group kick the shit out of the we trying to do right group? Let's love each other.
You'd have to take that. We'd have to take that L.
Those same English announcers that do soccer. It seems like the Aryan Brotherhood and the niggas ain't shit, and the fuck the Negroes and the gays, and they're kicking the good guys and the Bible thumpers and all the people that do right in the morale people's ass. And the score is,
I don't know how it plays out. In the battle is for our moral character is what it's for, and I don't know if I want it to be decided on a game. Speech is the game, and to be able to have free speech, and it's something that we hold sacred because we're one of the few places that has this much leeway into what our free speech is. And to watch it now from the perspective of a comedian who, ironically enough, are the people, if you go back to what a jester is, who was the comedian of his day, were the only people that were allowed to have free speech in the time of monarchies, and when basically if you weren't royalty, you ain't shit.
right.
That was the only person who had the ability to do that. And to be where we are today, where we're watching our free speech be eroded by laws to protect people from their feelings getting hurt. We're in a serious crossroads. And the idea of this eroding is terrible to me. It's terrible to me.
Yeah, dude. And obviously I don't remember the guy's name, but the head of the Nazi group
I don't remember his name
that
either.
wanted to lead that
Hitler Jr.
Yeah, that bullshit through Stokey, is it Stokely?
Yeah,
What was it?
Stokey,
Illinois. They even had written on the side of the headquarters building, "Stop the diggers." It turns out, I thought it was interesting when they said he had Jewish blood in his bloodline, and
So did Hitler.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. You can take that one with you.
Okay, so how does that work?
Self-loathing is a let me put these two together. Self-loathing is a hell of a drug.
Damn. Wow. And it turned out they said he was molesting boys over at the headquarters, and they eventually kicked him out. But I mean, I just don't know how you support crazy. when there's evidence, undisputable evidence of crazy, how do you get behind that at any point?
Because other crazy people don't. I'm going to quote William Shatner.
Make sure you get it right.
I don't know if I can even do William Shatner.
Oh, I'd love to see this attempt.
Make sure.
Wait,
Make sure.
This is going to feel like Charles Barkley's golf swing. Go ahead.
In an insane world, I can't do it.
You're off already.
Yeah.
In an insane world, you've got to find time to take breaks and speed it up.
I can't do it.
Okay.
In an insane world, the sane will appear insane.
Right. In an insane world, the sane
people will appear insane. That was on Star Trek.
In an insane world, the sane people will seem insane.
Yeah, that's right. But that's what it is. I mean, if your sanity is off, then everybody so basically all crazy people probably think, and I'm sure they even have a difference in the crazy world, but if your crazy thoughts are going to seem normal to you. So, but sometimes the absurd, and when you see, if you didn't have the video of that guy, if you didn't see him going, we forgot the extension cord. If you didn't see how pathetic they were,
right,
you could lend some credibility to this organization if they did something that seemed right. Having the ability for people to come see this, go out, witness this, is how you defeat it. I believe so wholeheartedly in free speech that even as a younger person, when I was watching this unfold on the news, as painful as it was, as I knew concentration camp survivors and I knew how they felt, I would not deny the right of free speech to override anything else. Because I know that once you take free speech away, when you allow others to decide what is offensive, what is inappropriate speech, then your speech is hanging by the thread of those people's decisions every day, forever.
No, listen, I get it. I totally get it. Good for the goose, good for the gander.
So, but that's, and Ira stood by that. So as we go into today, and that's what they were talking about with Ira and what's happening today, speech is based upon if you offend somebody, if you hurt someone's feelings. And that is never what is, to truly have free speech, you have to be willing to be offended. Jordan Peterson talks about this quite a bit, and it really makes a lot of sense. And there's actually an interview where someone asks him this question, and she's being quite rude to him and really poking at him. And he's saying, but you, because when you stand on a moral platform, and believe it or not, the Nazis believed they were moral.
Right.
So when you stand on that platform and you're looking down at someone and you think that you can berate them because of their views, and this is what Jordan Peterson experienced. She was coming at him in a way, she goes, but you're not worried about offending me. You're worried about, I'm saying that all speech should be protected, and you're not worried about how you're offending me. And she was being offensive. The way she was coming at him, it was to make him uncomfortable. And he said, but you're not worried about my comfortability. And she didn't have a reaction or an answer for that. Right. Because in order for us to grow as humans, for us to understand, we have to be able to be uncomfortable. We have to be able to have a conversation where I go, I disagree with you. And then the other person has to be able to say, no, but what about this? And then you go back and forth. And some understanding is either attained by this conversation, or if it's civil, if you're a civil person, you can have the right to disagree with that person, but never taking away anybody's free speech. And we should never be able to take away anybody's health, happiness. Those are all, well, health isn't guaranteed, but the pursuit of happiness is guaranteed. And remember, in this doctrine that is written, our Constitution, the pursuit of happiness, you're not guaranteed happiness. You're not guaranteed to be able to walk through the world and someone can come by and cut off all the tops of the flowers in your pretty little head, and just cut the tops of the flowers off, and now you don't have pretty flowers. You're not guaranteed to walk through a life that has flowers everywhere. We have a world that we're guaranteed the pursuit of that happiness. It's not guaranteed, though. It's the pursuit. And so to be offended is part of your pursuit to find happiness, to get through it. You're not guaranteed it. And I really am, and I think I'm addressing this better than I ever had on stage right now. And I think the jokes, there's 3 jokes that I'm telling in a row that really make you hate what I'm saying and then laugh. And because you understood how effective being able to listen and not be offended. Listen first, be offended later. And if you listen the whole way, the offense goes away because then you get what it was doing. But there's so many times that people can't handle that.
Basically, long story short, people, happiness is like pussy. You can pursue it. Doesn't mean you'll get it. But if you should get it, then you will be happy.
Go ahead now do that in the Cosby voice.
You know, happiness is like pussy, you see. You can pursue it, doesn't mean you get it. But if you get it, oh boy, you're going to be happy. Dibbly-dobbly, bibbly-bop.
Okay, now.
You see, wait a minute. One more. Please, to my good friend, William Shatner. Happiness is like pussy. You can pursue it. Doesn't mean you'll get it. But if you get it, you'll be happy.
Okay, now just because I brought up Cosby.
Happiness is like pussy.
No, wait. Go ahead. No, you can do that one.
Happiness is like pussy. You have to pursue it to get it, but it doesn't mean you get it. But if you get it, you'll be happy. Absolutely.
Okay, but you got to do this one because I know since I brought up Cosby, I know some black folks were listening and go, yeah, that white dude, he brought up Cosby again. I'm sick of it. Harvey Weinstein. You got to just do a Jewish voice.
Oh, Jesus. That's
just a Jewish, as Jewy as you can get it.
When I think of Jewy, I think of Eddie Murphy and Coming to America. You know, pussy is like happiness. You can pursue it. Doesn't mean you'll get it. But if you get it, that was horrible.
It was fun.
You know, pussy is like fucking. Pussy is like happiness is like pussy. You know, you can pursue it. Doesn't mean you get it. But if you get it, you'll be pretty fucking happy. And if you don't get it, well then fuck it. Just offer her a diamond ring or give her some fucking cash.
When you said pussy though, in Tony's voice, right. it took on a double meaning because there's pussy and then there's pussy.
Happiness is like pussy. You know, you can pursue it. And chances are you'll get it because that fat fuck can't fucking run. And when you get it, you're not going to be happy because the kind of pussy that's going to be shitting on top of you is 400 fucking vows.
Morgan Freeman. Happiness is like pussy. You can pursue it, but you may not get it. But if you get it, you'll be happy. Dr. Martin Luther King. You know, happiness is like pussy. You can pursue it, doesn't mean that you get it. But if you get it, God damn, you'll be happy. Especially if it's not Coretta's. I can come home to Coretta's pussy any day that I want. But it is the palatability and the permeation of a side piece that's the best piece. God damn.
I just would like to say that last impression had nothing to do with the perceived white man on the show.
All right, that's all I got for Ira.
That's it, man. I was really, if you're pro First Amendment, or if you're against, if you want to shut down some people's voice because you are offended, please go watch this. See if it changes your opinion. But if you're big on the First Amendment, watch. And you feel a way about how things are going right now, watch this because this is a time period that I think we're moving away from and we need to get back to. Is that it?
Yeah, I think that is it, buddy.
Should I tell everybody where we're going to be?
Remember on this one, oh no, that's the emails.
Emails. What this
and folks, again, if you have not seen it, Ozark, season 4, part 1. Man, oh man, the shit is flames, yo.
Are you going to watch that Pam and Tommy Lee?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
No interest in that at all.
Not at all.
I didn't have any interest in the tape.
I never saw the tape.
Yeah, I saw sucking his dick in the truck.
I saw on the boat. There was a clip of it on the boat. I can't pay for porn, man. If it's not free on whatever the thing is, I'm not paying for it.
Boy, Jewish to your heart, nigga.
Nah, I ain't paying. Okay, so this is going to come out. You guys are listening to this Wednesday, the 23rd, if you got it on the new. But that same week, we're going to be at Virginia Beach Funny Bone, the 25th and the 26th, Friday and Saturday only. If you haven't got your tickets and you listen to this on the 23rd, there may not be any left, but you can give a call and see if you can come join us. If you're in Austin, Texas, the 3rd through the 6th, we're going to be at Cap City, Austin. Club that we haven't done because it's new. It's it's the second coming of Cap City. So come check us out over in Austin, Texas. The 10th through the 13th. That was March, by the way. We're in March now. March 3rd through the 6th, Cap City, Austin. Then the March 10th through the 13th, Funny Bone, Columbus. Ohio, the best, my favorite city of the Ohios, actually. I'm not being mean to any of the other cities. I'm just saying my favorite is Columbus.
It is the Carmela Soprano of the Ohios, whereas Cleveland is what was the crazy bitch's name? Gloria. Was it Gloria?
I don't know their names.
Fucking the crazy bitch. You think I can afford new fucking tires?
What are these, fucking tens? I'll have 2 bread on Michelin, shaving it out.
March 17th through the 20th, Aries is going to be at Arlington Improv in Texas. And then the 24th through the 26th of March, I'm back with Aries, and we're going to be at the Cincinnati Liberty Township, back in Ohio, with the team that either won the Super Bowl or came in second. Cincinnati Bengals and LA
Rams. Oh, shit. I know Gary Owen is hyped.
Yeah?
He's from Cincinnati.
All right. So that's going to be there. And then we're going to finish off the month. The 31st will be the 31st through the 3rd of April, I believe. We're going to be Off the Hook in Naples. And like I said, we've been there once before. It's a good room to watch comedy in, but it's a great restaurant. That Off the Hook is Off the Hook.
Yes.
I did that as generically as Guy Smiley as I could do it.
Guy Smiley.
He's the game show guy from Sesame Street. I'm Guy Smiley.
Oh, with the jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, coming up, music for Critical 34. I think the song's called Section 8.
Good afternoon,
It's back.
good evening, or good morning. I don't know what time you're listening to this, but whether it's morning, noon, or night, have the appropriate food stuffed in your mouth while you're watching or listening to this. If it's morning, stuff one side of your mouth with 8 Polish kielbasa links and half a slab of bacon and drink raw egg yolks in the middle. If it's the afternoon, have a ham sandwich with cheese stuffed in your mouth and swallow it down with a bowl of tomato juice. And it's if the evening, then put a whole porterhouse steak in your mouth, jam that with baked potato with all the fixins, and put the fucking vegetables down your throat.
You know how I know that's not a good Louis Anderson?
How?
Because Louis never ate vegetables.
Oh, sorry.
It's somewhere between a Louis Anderson and a bedridden wheelchair patient.
I think it sounds like Louis, though.
All right. Critical, I think the song is called Section 8. Antonio Thomas. Again, if you want to write into the show, ariespears45@hotmail.com. There it is. Love y'all.
Just before we go,
Yes.
I just want to know who you are. Do you know what Section 8 housing is?
The projects, nigga.
I'm just checking.
Why wouldn't I know Black Trivia 1-on-1?
That's not just black church. You know, there's more white people in Section 8
There's
housing.
more white people on welfare than there are.
Yeah.
I know about you niggas. You niggas aren't fooling anyone. All the niggas are on welfare. It is not us. It is you. White people. You're not fooling anyone trying to pull the veil over a nigga's face. Please. Our lips are too big for you to get that veil to fit over right. Our lips poke that veil out far enough that our eyes can see. Stop it, niggas. Stop it.
All right, enjoy. You know, pussy can be happiness. To pursue happiness is like pussy. You can pursue it. That doesn't mean you'll get it. Unless you give a black bitch enough money, she will sell you that goddamn happiness. Right.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this shit, it was hosted by Ari Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Klein-Schmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us, visit SpearsburgPod.com.